afternoon, everybody! So, as you see, Dante is here. I don't think they're excited to see you. And we will begin the show in just a minute. So, welcome, thank you again. This is Dante Bosco. Give him another cheer. He will be here to talk and answer your awesome questions. So, I will let him take it away.
Thank you, Gregory. What's up, you guys? Shadocon 2013. I'm so happy to be here. I'm excited. You know, I've been up early for this weekend, and I see some Avatar folks in the audience. I see Prince Zuko, which is awesome. I see a bunch of Homestucks in the house. Awesome. You guys having a good time so far this weekend?
Yeah!
Thank you for coming out to my panel. I guess this is, what is this entitled, like Meet Me or something? Like, hi, I'm Dante. But this is great. I guess we'll just, we'll do Q&A and whatnot, and I can tell you about my career, my life, and answer any questions that you want, and tell you like my story. I'm just another actor. There's a phone. It's okay. There's a baby up front. His name is Arden. He's 3 weeks old, and I just met him. It's his first con. And he's still looking for an outfit, but I'm sure we'll find something for him. But yeah, I'm an actor. I've been an actor for almost all my life, like nearly all, like my whole life.
That's awesome.
Literally, I've probably been an actor longer than most people in this room have been alive.
Wow.
Which is crazy. I've been an actor for 27 years.
Wow.
And been very fortunate in my career to be on screen and also be a voice actor and do roles such as Rufio and Hook, Prince Zuko and Avatar, Jake Long the American Dragon.
Rufio!
I mean, these kind of things, like with Rufio and Prince Zuko, these characters have become so iconic for different generations, and hopefully for further generations ahead. It's crazy. It's like one of those things as an actor that you can never plan, and you just try to take it with as much grace as you can, because those characters, even if I didn't portray them, I'd still be a fan of both those characters because they're just super cool characters. Like I said, I've been an actor a long time. I've done a lot of different things that people may have seen, and I'm down to answer questions about any of them and tell you stories, maybe tell you some exclusive stories of us just me growing up. I'm just kind of like a kid that basically grew up in Hollywood, and if you like watch a lot of stuff I've done over the years, you can actually see me grow up like on film and television, and it's kind of cool. And hopefully over the years I've kind of stayed pretty normal. You know what I'm saying? There's that thing about kid actors that we kind of lose our minds and we go crazy, and it happens. I think it does happen. But I was like, why stop at like kid actors? Like all actors lose their minds sooner or later.
Basically.
But I like to think that I'm like one of them who kind of made it out of it and still around, and kind of a well-adjusted person, more or less. At least I do my best. But let's talk about it. I mean, what do you guys want to talk about? Questions? Yeah. What's up, doll? What's your name?
Jillian.
Hey, Jillian.
She has to hear it, and so do I. Can you please say, hello, Zuko here?
Hello, Zuko here. People love that line. Like, how come that line became so popular?
We're girls, we have needs.
It's like such the simplest line, and it's like, Zuko here, it's like simple. I mean, no, I love that line too. Like another one of my favorite lines from there, that's one of those simple little moments, is like when Sokka's like talking about his girlfriend and became the moon. And I'm like, that's rough, buddy. Like simple lines like that are like super classic, right? It's very interesting as an actor, as a writer to go, how did that happen? And I think a lot of it's, that's the luck of fun things happen like that. Yeah, dog, what's your name? Yeah.
You do the line with American Dragon.
Oh, man. Yeah, Jake Long. I love Jake Long. That was that character was super cool to me. That was the first time I really did a full series as a voice actor, and I got to be this hip hop kid. It was really just me as a teenager. I got to rap, and I was improvising so much. I don't even think Disney knew what I was talking about. And on that show, when we first did it the first year, I went on a press tour, right, with Disney. And it's so funny because I remember that press tour. And I was hanging out with the High School Musical kids. High School Musical hadn't come out, right? I'm hanging out with Zach, and they're telling me about their musical thing. I'm like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. You're doing a High School Musical? I'm like, and I'm freaking doing a cartoon of a dragon. And so I'm talking to the foreign press, and I'm telling them, yo, I'm so happy that Disney has this hip-hop show, and I get to do this whole hip-hop character. And the head of Disney's like, I didn't know we had a hip-hop show. I'm like, oh yeah, man, with me, you, the American Dragon, we're hip-hop, and it's all up. But I love that show. I still love Jake Long. Question? Yes, the Homestuck right here.
Okay. How do you feel about Hussey kissing Rufio? Was it passionate? Was it sloppy?
Yeah. It's for people that aren't Homestucks, they don't know that in Homestuck, Rufio is makes a cameo appearance, right? He comes back a few times now, and then in the story, Rufio, which is me, but it's me. I know, it's weird. But also the guy who wrote the story, his name is Andrew Hussey, and he makes cameos in his own project also, which is weird. The whole thing is a strange thing. For people that aren't Homestucks are like, what are you talking about? And believe me, before I started reading it, I didn't know what I was talking about either. But so there's a part where he comes dressed as Peter Pan, out of nowhere. Rufio gets stabbed, right? Like the movie, because because Rufio's the self-esteem of Tavros, which is a troll. I sound crazy now that I'm telling you this. And so what happens is he gets stabbed, and then out of nowhere comes Andrew Hussey, dressed like Peter Pan. What the is going on here? And then he's going to revive me, or Rufio, or what I'm man, I'm crazy. Then while he's giving me CPR, he just lays one on Rufio, and it's a full-on moment. And it was a little sloppy for me when I was reading it because I was a little bit tipsy when I was reading it. I was live. I live blog when I read Homestuck because it's just fucking crazy. And so I'm having a glass of red wine. It's the middle of the night in LA, and I'm reading this thing. And then I get kissed by Hussey, and I'm drunk. This is crazy. I feel a little bit he got me right that time. It was a little sloppy, but it definitely was fun. And then all the live blogging madness that night. I gotta go back and read over that stuff on Tumblr because I was, like I said, a little tipsy. But I guess it's the perfect moment to get kissed by Hussey. Check that out. Who follows me on Tumblr? Oh, cool. Question, yes.
Hi.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah. I have a question. I noticed that on your page you talked about how Doug Walker was doing the Avatar vlogs and that he really, really likes you as a voice actor.
Yeah, the nostalgia critic, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, have you guys? He likes me as a voice actor. He was very complimentary, and that's super cool. He ended up writing me. I actually was thanking him, but I messed up because someone reblogged it, but I thought it was, I don't know. Someone reblogged it, and I gave a shout out to the guy who reblogged it as if he wrote it, but he didn't write it. It was oops. But then I ended up getting in contact with Doug, and he gave me a lot of love, and so a lot of times you do your work, and you're not really ever thinking who's gonna appreciate it or what people are gonna think about it. You're just trying to fulfill that character. So it's kind of nice, especially years later, for a critic. You never do your work for critics ever, or at least you shouldn't. Let the critics critique. But when someone does give you, you know, some really good feedback, it's always, you know, appreciative of it. I'm happy someone likes it. Question?
Yeah. I was just wondering, do you ever watch the series you voice acted or like watch a movie Hook and you go, man, that's me up there.
It is weird. I mean, with voice acting, I go back sometimes and I can really disassociate myself with it sometimes, because with voice acting, a lot of times we're doing those roles like sometimes a year, even more in advance before you even see it, because it takes them so long to animate it. So what we're doing, I just get lost in the story like everybody else, and then I can watch it later on and just enjoy it. With films, it's a little bit different, because for actors, when we're doing films and TV, it's like if I'm doing a movie, I probably spend 2-3 months with these people, right? And then you go to the premiere and you watch it and you have a little bit of a weird moment. Then years later, you watch the film, and more than anything, it's like going through a photo album, you know? For actors, it's like going through a photo album of like, oh my God, remember we were shooting that day, or I missed that person, or God, we were in Toronto, or we were in friggin' Paris or something. You're like, God, remember when we shot that? And in your mind, it's just like looking through photo albums. You have that same feeling of missing and loving the people that you spent that time with. And so sometimes the movie may have a different experience for me than for like someone who watched the movie and loves the story. It's like, for me, it's like just certain photographs of that time in my life. Question, back all the way in the back.
Can you do when you imitated Azula?
The what?
When you imitated Azula.
I don't. What did I say? I hate to imitate Grace. She's too good. She has to be in the room with me for me to imitate her. But what was the line? I don't even remember it myself. But Azula, Grey DeLisle is probably one of my favorite actresses ever. Favorite voice actress for sure. She's super, just amazing actress and super sexy, and like her voice is sexy, even when she's being like a bitch. But also, she's like super sexy. Like, you guys know Grey, you know Grey, have you ever seen her?
Yeah.
So she walks in, and she's like always perfectly made up. I don't even think she owns a pair of jeans. She just is always in a skirt or something. And she looks like this actress from another time, like, I don't know, like the 20s movies, or like a rockabilly or something. It's like something, she walks in super sexy, and then we'll always, you know, healthy flirting with Grey. So I don't even know, I don't even remember what I said, but all the way in the back. Yeah. How come Zuko and Aang never get along? We actually do, we end up getting along, you know, but I think, you know, you're opposites kind of thing. I don't know, I think in the end, it's one of those things where it's like, people kind of make it, like, even though you're opposites, you kind of push each other to be your best kind of thing, even though you may not always hang out like on an everyday thing. The other thing is like Aang took his girl, so that's messed up. Yeah, right here.
Like when you voice act, do you ever feel like you can relate to the character and you can understand how they're feeling, and like once you voice act, you can feel it, like you apply yourself to that feeling?
Oh yeah, she's saying when I voice act, do I ever feel like I can see myself in the character, like
yeah, like you see yourself feeling that emotion.
Ironically, it's like as I was doing these series, it was especially because I was doing Airbender and American Dragon at the same time for a while, but there was weeks, full-on things were going on in my life that really mirrored what was going on in these shows, which was so weird. It was like one of them, like in American Dragon, I had to fight this dark dragon, right?
Yeah.
But it was weird in my life. There was, I mean, I didn't have like a dark dragon, but I had this really ominous person that I had to confront, and it was like a really super big thing in my life. And so, yeah, it was like as I was doing it, I was like, I can't believe this is going on. And then also, like, I had this, I don't know if you remember American Dragon, but there was like me and the Rose character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had like that like secret love affair kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I had one of those at that time. And I remember going, this is fucking weird. I wonder if this is how Jake handles it. maybe this is how I'll handle it. So sometimes with art, like there's that old saying that like life imitates art, art imitates life. For sure, in my career, it's always been like that.
Because like I used to be in a drama club in high school, and I always get like the supporting characters, and I feel like I can relate to them how they feel, so I was able to apply myself better. So I was wondering if that happened to you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're supposed to be able to do that. I mean, as an actor, that's part of your job is to find where you and the character intersect, and you know the whole reason why you're playing the character. There's a reason. There's like a bigger reason in life why you play the characters you play. I like to believe. All the way in the back, the Strider in the back.
You say
For honor. Question. Right here in the Batman shirt.
what is your craziest fan experience?
I don't know. I mean, there's always a lot of this. I've had some crazy ones. Ish. Like I said earlier in the panel I did earlier, I kissed a fan one time. Or they kissed me. You know, some girl kissed me. I got kissed a few times. That's kind of crazy. One time I like really kissed back because I was like, we're kissing already, so. Like, let's do this. It's happening. I've signed like body parts, breasts. I've signed foreheads, butt.
Oh my god.
But you know, I mean, more or less, like fans are super cool, and like especially since I've been doing a lot of stuff online, like through my Tumblr and Twitter. Like I met a lot of fans digitally, and like the fans are super cool usually. Like 99% of the time, even maybe more than that.
Yeah.
I did a whole Snapchat session one time. Like my intern, she was using Snapchat, and I was like, well, I thought that was like a sexting thing. Like, what is that? And she was like, no, I mean, it could be, but like, there's all these good reasons she was telling me to do Snapchat. And so we just blogged online, like, yo, I'm opening a Snapchat. Yo, Snapchat me, right? And so then like hundreds of Snapchats came in and we YouTubed it. And it was all cool, like animation and Zuko when people saying hi. There was a few crazy things that kind of came through. And I was like, oh, shit. Some people are crazy. But more or less, it's not that, you know, not that crazy. I think, you know, we all geek out about something. So it's usually like people that, I don't know, for some reason people that are fans of mine are like super cool.
Yeah.
More than not, you know. I hope. I haven't really felt like no one's trying to stab me or anything. It's just a lot of hugs and like a lot of conversation. A lot of people online ask me a lot of questions. You know, I night blog, so I get really philosophical in the middle of the night. I'm like, let me think about that. But nothing too crazy. A few, you know, a kiss or two every now and then.
Oh.
Question. Right, you. Yes.
What were some of your favorite childhood TV shows, and how do you think they compare to shows like Avatar or now?
That's a good question. I mean, I think Avatar is brilliant, and I think Avatar really changed the game for at least animation in America. And I think it took a lot of its, you know, it's definitely anime inspired. So anime always has more deeper, complex storylines and characters. Growing up, all of the, you know, especially the animation I watched growing up usually was pretty, you know, simple 30-minute episodes. But I love stuff like Thundercats, and I loved, I mean, Saturday morning stuff, Smurfs, and just singing. They're all simple, but they're like beautiful things in my mind, you know? But now things have kind of, like I said, like Avatar for American animation has really changed the game, where they really want these ongoing storylines and these relationships that go deeper. But growing up, I was like a big, you know, I was like a big Transformer guy, and Transformers and Thundercats and Silverhawks and friggin', I mean, I liked He-Man for a while. I was into He-Man. You know, but I did like some anime growing up. There was like Robotech that was really dope. I watched some of the stuff that came over, like Ninja Scroll, Cowboy Bebop, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, so, you know, I'm just like regular, I guess. Simple stuff like that.
Like, we're here for you. Did you ever, like, as a child, have like a voice actor or an actor that you're like, oh my god, I want to meet them, or they inspire me so much?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, everyone geeks out about something. Growing up, there was all different kinds of things. You know, there was, like, I studied martial arts growing up, and there was martial artists that I really loved. I was a big Bruce Lee fan, Jackie Chan, and like there's like Ernie Reyes Jr. was big when I was younger, and I remember seeing him at like a tournament. And later on, I got to work with him, and we're friends now. And he was like the last dragon. He's like a big martial artist.
What type of martial arts do you do?
I studied Kachi Kembo growing up.
I do Taekwondo, so
cool.
Jiu-Jitsu as well.
And then like guys, like I love sports. Like a lot of friends, like I go to conventions, right? And so people are like, whoa, conventions, like all this like weird stuff going on. I'm like, yo, man. I tell some of my buddies, this is the deal. Everyone geeks out about something. Like we'll be at a sports bar on a Sunday.
Oh my god.
Right? With a bunch of people we don't know. Everybody's wearing their jerseys for their teams and their things. I'm like, what do you think a jersey is outside of a cosplay? You're wearing a jersey with someone else's name on the back. We're screaming and jumping around with people we don't know.
Yeah.
But like there's something, it's the same kind of thing, just in a different mind, just people geeking out about something else. And a lot of friends that are like sports heads, like, oh god, they start to totally get the whole, it's just, we all geek out about different things in our lives.
Yeah.
So always like a lot of sports guys. I love musicians, so I'd geek out about like rap groups and R&B groups. Like there was a time when I was younger, there was a group called Jodeci. I was like, yeah, I love Jodeci. I don't care about nobody, Jodeci. I'm in a restaurant in LA and Jodeci walks in. I was like, oh shit.
Oh my god.
So stuff like that. I mean, maybe Tupac. You meeting Tupac is pretty big. You know, that kind of stuff. Right here in the hat.
You've been to other conventions before. So, have you ever had any funny moments with your voice acting figures, like Scott?
Scott's crazy for sure.
Scott is crazy, Metro.
I don't do a lot of conventions. I only started doing conventions recently, but I met Scott recently in Vancouver. He's crazy, for sure. And I love being on panels with him because I love his stories. And I love just how his mind works. He's a trip. I've had crazy moments. I was on a tour one time with, we were in New Zealand, and I was hanging out with the guys who do they're not voice actors, but they do that show Battlestar Galactica, Battlestar. Oh, yeah. So like Jason Momoa and them. And we were out drinking. And Jason is a big dude. Like, so Momoa, like he's Hawaiian, right? He's from Hawaii. Momoa, right? And like, I look like I'm from Hawaii. I'm like Filipino, so I got family. I'm like, whatever. He's like, you remind me of my boys back home and like family and stuff. But because I'm so small, he keeps picking me up. Like, he'll pick me up a lot. Like we're at a bar drinking, and my dude would just pick me up. Like I'm Webster or something. And so this dude's like, Dante, you're tiny, man. I'm like, what the fuck? Stop picking me up. But we had a lot of good times. Sometimes some things we can't talk about, but we had a good time. Those guys are wild. Like some actors, it's a good time.
Speaking of Doug Walker, have you seen his review of The Last Airbender?
The movie?
Yeah.
No. I can't think it's that good.
No, he tore it apart. I mean, the review was good, the movies.
Yeah. Doug Walker's interesting because he does these vlogs and he's got so much of a big following. He's great. I mean, I love the way he critiques too. It's great and so simple. He's like the everyday guy saying, yo, this is what I like about the movie. And it's great. And they're long vlogs too, and they're awesome. I should check that out. I never watched the movie yet.
Don't.
I know everyone says not to, but you know, he's like, I gotta watch some of it.
No!
I get asked him so much that I'm like,
Dante, it's really bad.
I watched like,
I got mad to see it.
You're not gonna like 5 minutes of the
the
thing.
preview looked alright.
No. 5 minutes were.
So you said you started recently going to cons and stuff. How do you feel about con culture? How do you feel about anime culture? How do you feel about some of the recent animes that are coming out?
I think it's super cool. You know, like I said, I haven't done a lot of cons and just kind of getting into the culture. I learn at every con. I learn something new when people like tell me to watch new things, and I just feel like a student in that way. I'm super. I don't know. I just love it all. It's kind of so imaginative and so colorful and so amazing to me. Also, in Hollywood, I'm like an Asian American artist, like pioneer for a certain generation, and I'm a part of this whole crew that's really trying to push and really create the Asian American genre in filmmaking and television and whatnot. And what I love about anime is it's so Asian inspired, and I explained to a lot of the cats in LA, like, yo, this genre, this like Comic-Con, the anime drama is every artist like that. If you go to Comic-Con, right, or these conventions, like all these artists are so inspired by Asian art. It's a lot of times in Hollywood they don't really realize it. We're not really giving that credit. So for the community that I'm working with, like, look how much the Asian art has influenced this whole part of the entertainment community. We really need to step up our game on the Asian American side, and we really need to value what they're doing there and really bring it to what we're doing. So I'm really just a student of all of it. What, you want to follow up question?
One more thing.
Yes.
If you do decide to watch that god-awful movie, totally live blog it.
I know. If I do, I will definitely live blog it, and then I'll invite some people to come watch it with me.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I will go to
right here, the red hair.
My daughter's second generation Avatar watcher.
Very cool.
I looked her at age 3 months now. So we're good.
Oh wow. We've been around that long? How old is that?
She's 9.
Wow.
Anyways, she wants to know what your favorite lines were in Avatar, the first series, and then I wanted to know how different was it to transition from being Zuko in Avatar to General Iroh in Korra?
Right. Hard. No, my favorite lines, you know, they change all the time. There's so many great lines, like we said earlier, like little lines, like those little lines, or like, I always like some of the philosophical stuff that Uncle Iroh says. Like, I can't even remember the whole line completely now. Like, you have to be yourself. Like, there's certain, I like the poetry of certain things that they wrote. I don't know. Why am I so good at being bad? I like that. I wonder that myself sometimes. Why am I so good at being bad? And then as far as transitioning from Zuko to Iroh, really, I mean, it's weird. You know, I talked about this earlier. It's very strange to like play your grandson in a voice acting way. This is not on-screen acting where you can put on a different outfit and everyone kind of knows that you're playing your grandson. So trying to, you know, should we change the voice? Should we not change the voice? And for it to be basically the same voice in a different body at a different time was super strange. But totally worked, because I think when Iroh comes on and my voice comes out of his mouth, something about the audience is so, I have no idea how this happens either, but like there's a very big connection with my voice and like, I guess the Fire Nation or something. But it's cool. It's super cool, and I think Mike and Brian thinking that up and really making it happen, I think it was brilliant the way they did that. Question right here. Hey, how are you?
Doing good. So I know you like dancing, but have you ever taught dance? Like, come up with a routine and like taught?
Choreographed and stuff?
Yeah.
Not really. I'm like, no. Well, when in our group, breakdancers growing up, I added something, but I wasn't really the choreographer of the group. But I love dancing. You know, I was a dancer before I was an actor, so that's like my first love. I was a break dancer in the Bay Area. Got picked up by the San Francisco Ballet Company. Studied ballet. Did the Nutcracker with the San Francisco Ballet. Like I watched Billy Elliot and like be emotional about that movie because it reminds me so much of growing up. And like if Center Stage comes on, for some reason I can't turn off the friggin' TV. Center Stage. It's horrible. But, so I love dance, but I never choreographed, but I still love to dance. All kinds of dance and hip hop. I mean, I did ballroom dancing and Take the Lead. and I still love that. I just love dancing. Hopefully I'll be able to dance forever. Yeah. You.
I have 2 questions actually.
Shoot.
Are we going to be able to see any more General Iroh in Korra?
I don't know. I don't even know if I can answer that. I don't even know. But you know, there's several seasons, so I'm sure it's going to come back and forth. Hopefully. We'll see.
Alright, and can you sign one of my things I got?
Oh yeah. Afterward, we'll definitely sign that for sure.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. In the hat.
How conflicting do you think it would be if Zuko appeared on The Legend of Korra, you having already played the voice of General Iroh? How conflicting?
Too conflicting. I mean, well, Zuko is old now. So, Zuko's old now. I don't know. I can't even talk about the show because I get in trouble. I'm going to get in trouble, so I'm not going to say anything. Yeah.
Which characters did you get like the most attached to, like emotionally?
In life or during, like, what do you mean?
Like when you were playing them, like which one did you get like the most emotionally attached to?
Yeah, I mean, Zuko in a lot of ways because that's probably like one of the longest characters I got to play. Because we did that for 5 years, maybe more. And that story's so big, you know, as far as where he starts and where he ends. So a lot of ways that. But every character, like every project I do, you know, there's a lot of me in all the characters. So I'm like really emotionally attached to a lot of those characters. Plus, at certain times in your life, there's certain things that happen. Like on that set, you know, you may have fell in love with that girl, or on that set, this stuff happened in your life with these people. So there's like an emotional attachment to like most of the projects I do, you know?
Yeah, who's your favorite, Zuko or General Iroh?
I mean, Zuko's classic. I love Prince Zuko. All the way in the back.
What do you think about Zuko and Katara? Should they have been together instead of the person you got?
The old Zutara question. So how many people are Zutara in here? Okay, how many people are, what, Katang? Or how many people are, what's the other one? What's Zuko and Mai called? Just Maiko. That's right, Maiko. It's always like May or Mai. You know, it's confusing for me too. Yeah, I'm on record. I'm a Zutara. I'm on record with that. It's just that one of those things, you know. I think they had a great thing. Fire and water and all that stuff. You know, but I understand how the story goes and how it's supposed to, how it had to end. I get it. I got it. And that's cool. I was like really philosophical about this one time in the middle of the night, another one of my night blogging sessions. And someone was asking me about these things, and I was like, yo, sometimes in life, even though something is perfect, it doesn't mean that's who you end up with, you know? And that's all right. And I was telling some young person too that broke up with somebody, I was like, that's great, you were in love. You will fall in love again. It will be different. It's okay. That doesn't diminish like how amazing that was. But I think that, you know, there are people in your life where you may meet like this, that you have these moments, and then they are what they are. They're magical, and that's they are what they're supposed to be. In the back, all the way in the back.
Can you tell us the story of how you got Zuko's role?
The story, how I got Zuko, yeah. So I go into Nickelodeon, and I have this project to read for, and it made no sense to me, really. It's Zuko, right? It's like, I don't even know what it's called. It was called Avatar, and then I'm reading it. I can tell like it's this, you know, martial art anime inspired situation, and I'm like, this is cool. But you walk into Nickelodeon, and it's Nickelodeon. You know, there's like a big statue of SpongeBob, and there's like that. During those days, there was like Cat Dog, and there was like all the Nickelodeon stuff. So this did not read to me like Nickelodeon at all. But you know, you go to the audition, you're in the booth, and it's Zuko, and I'm like, Zuko? I literally was like, Zuko, like Danny Zuko? And like they're laughing in the booth. And then we read it, and I guess they liked it. You know, I ended up getting the gig, and for the first, you know, you don't, like a lot of these things in your career as an actor, a lot of these things, we don't know what anything's gonna become. You just are an actor that booked another job, that you just continue to work, and you're thankful for that, and you're working. So the magic of Hollywood is like we do a lot of different things. We don't know which roles or which projects become what they become. So with Zuko, it's just one of those things that he just walked into the audition, and you know, it's one of the things that characters you liked, and that character became classic somehow. I don't know. I try not to think about it too much. You just go, thank you, in the top hat.
Have you ever been at a convention or a press release and given away some information that you didn't know you were not supposed to give away? And
yes.
What did they do?
They yelled at me. No, they didn't yell at me. They called my agents and yelled at my agents or my management. Then my management called me and then like yelled at me. It's just, you know, in the last few, it's like in the event of all the social media. Before that, no one really, there was like not, now it's like NDAs on everything, you know, non-disclosure agreements. Before like that's only like the last few years with the advent of friggin' Twitter and social media. Before that, no one really cared. I mean, you do an interview every now and then, but by the time those interviews came out, the project already came out. But now, because everything's so fast, you know, you can get in trouble. I mean, like with The Legend of Korra, like no one was supposed to know I was in The Legend of Korra. So I'm in an interview and we're doing some other stuff, and then the guy asks about Legend of Korra, and I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, but they know that, I mean, it's not like I'm revealing information, like he's just asking me what is he already knows, right? And I get in trouble for like all that. You're like, so you're playing your grandson? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, it's like 100 years in the future, right? Yeah, I'm like, and then I'm on friggin' YouTube, and then Nickelodeon's like telling them to take off the thing. I'm like, Nickelodeon, they knew the answers. They were showing me artwork. Don't yell at me, but I am sorry. Questions, pink hair.
Hey, so do you have any stories about what it was like to hang out with like the other cast members of Avatar?
Yeah, so Jack DeSena and Mae Whitman are like my peeps. Zach, I didn't hang out with that much because Zach, A, he was a kid, and B, he was on the East Coast, so he didn't record with us. But like Mae and Jack, we recorded together like all the time, and we're still friends. But hanging out with them, like Mae's super younger than me, right? And we played opposite each other in American Dragon, which is weird, and then we played opposite each other in Avatar. And I've known her literally since she was like a super little girl. And now she's like a hip and happening little hipster chick. So when I first started seeing her at clubs and bars, I was like, yo, Mae, what are you doing here? Like, you shouldn't be here. Like, I was there when she first got her license, you know, when her dad stopped coming to the recordings because she was old enough to drive herself. So when she started coming to the bars and the clubs, I was like, yo, I can't be here. Mae, I can't be here having drinks with you. I just feel bad. But she's super, super cool. Jack is great. We're working on some stuff right now together. And like we just, you know, we have like mutual friends. We were just like at a wedding together, partying, drinking beers and dancing. He's hilarious. They're just, what the great thing about Jack and Mae and even myself is we're all Hollywood actors that we were kid actors. You know, Jack was on the show on Nickelodeon. Mae's grown up acting since she was freaking a baby. I grew up acting, so we kind of have that kinship of that child actor, you know, we're part of that child actor fraternity, and we all kind of grew up, and they're pretty regular child actors. I have some other friends that are child actors that are a little crazy, but you know, we're all a little crazy. Right here. Yes.
I was wondering if you, while you're working on the animated cartoons, if you had much contact with the actual animators themselves?
The actual animators?
Yeah.
Not always. Some people that, every now and then I'll meet some people that were like, I'm an animator for the show. The director of a lot of the animation for some of the season, Giancarlo Volpa, I'm actually cool with him, really cool, and we're trying to develop something together in an animation project. I wish we did have more, more contact with them. During the first season we did, because they would come in, they did a lot of stuff like, they would shoot us how we were acting on the mic, and I guess, I don't know, somehow inspire them to help create some of the character stuff, and which is kind of cool. I don't know. I'm not a very good drawer or illustrator or whatever, but I respect it highly. So I wish I had more connection with them. I love artists. As I started doing these cons, I've been meeting so many fan artists, and stuff has blown me away. And so now, as I go to like different cons, I commission fan artists from around to like draw something exclusive for that con. So I have this one. I have like a print, like a limited print for this con from an artist from Tumblr named Juniro, and I met another artist. I just love fan art and art. I'm just so inspired by what everyone does. Questions with the wand or stick. It is a wand.
So you write monks, obviously, but
yes.
So given that you probably got a bunch of emotions from it, who's your OCP?
I don't know. I mean, it's so convoluted. I mean, I love Rose and I love Dave, and now I know they're related. So that's not cool. I don't know. I mean, it's so hard. OTP is such a hard one in life. Who's your OTP? Who's yours?
Currently it's Aaron and
Okay. Kanaya's my girl. That's like, Kanaya's my patron's troll, and I love her and her chainsaw and shit. But I don't know, and maybe I guess I could see that. They have like that relationship that I can see where you're going. I don't know. I just I love Rose. Who, you gonna put Rose in who? Rose in... I don't know. I can't speak on OTPs, man. It's too, you can get all caught up in the shipping world. The question is right here in the aisle. What? I didn't hear you. What you said? When I found out I was a bad guy? Yeah, I just thought I was a bad guy. When I first got the job, I was like, oh, I'm the bad guy. That's cool. So I just was rolling with it. It wasn't until the second season where it started to unravel who he was, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. And then I really got started getting really hooked into the storyline and Zuko's character, and became this super amazing character, I totally, around the second season, I realized I wasn't as bad as I thought. With the red sleeve.
I was wondering if I could give you a kiss or two?
Yeah. Please. I'll take one of those. Thank you. I love it. Thank you so much.
I thought it was literally a kiss.
I love kisses. All the way in the back.
I thought it was an actual kiss. Yeah. We're gonna go make her. I was gonna ask him.
How did he get his scar? From his dad. Remember? Ozai messed him up. So that... Yeah, definitely afterwards for sure. Right here with the camera.
I have two questions.
Yeah.
What do you have as far as advice for a young actor starting out or voice actor?
Act as much as you can, for sure. I mean, get good at what you do. I don't know how the scene is down here. Ultimately, you're gonna have to make your way to New York or LA. But but just get good at what you do. Know that when you come to LA, there's a lot of good actors. Everyone's an actor, so.
Yeah.
But usually, I'll tell young actors that make it to LA that you have to realize that you got to be good, do as much as you can to get as good as you can, but also realize that when you become an actor, it's less of a job and it's more of a lifestyle, the lifestyle of the artist. And so, if you know that, then we're all in the same boat: actors, singers, illustrators, writers. You live the life of artists, so you'll understand that once you kind of live that life, and it's not, it's the whole thing I talk about a lot, that, anyone Harry Potter fans in here? Yeah, me too. So when you become an artist, you really want to be an actor, you want to live that life, study, right? And then you realize in the world there's muggles and there's wizards. And if you really become an artist, you become a wizard. But everything that goes along with that, the fact that the rest of your family or the rest of the world might not really understand you or might not really understand what you value, just like the muggles and the wizards, but I mean, we're cool. We're the wizards. You know what I'm saying? We actually create things, characters, drawings. There's don't get twisted. What we do is magical, for sure. But what's your other question?
The other question was, do you have any crazy stories about when you played Rufio?
Yeah. How crazy?
Crazy as far as you're allowed to say.
Yeah, man. I can't. I don't know. Not really. I can't say. What can I say? I was young, dude. Just think this way. I'm 15 years old. I'm in this really big movie, and I'm 15, and things happen in life. But it was good. It was definitely a good time in my life. Playing the role was awesome when it came out, and being a teenager at that time, and having your first dose of fame like that. Crazy things can happen, and I tried. I think hopefully I took it in stride. All the way in the back.
Since you're so tight with the creators, did they ever tell you what happened to Zuko's mom?
No, it's coming out. It's coming out in the it's been coming out in the search in the comic books. So they released 2 of them. You gotta read. So they released 2 of them, and I've actually done some voice on my YouTube channel for them, and the 3rd one's coming out. So there's they didn't tell me the final one, but you could read the comics. It's called The Search. Wait, we have 2 more questions? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got 2 more questions.
2 more questions, right here.
I have a 2-part question.
Yeah.
Obviously, whenever you talk, all I can hear is Jake Long and Zuko. So do you get recognized a lot? And the second question is, do you have any crazy stories about getting recognized?
Yeah, I get recognized a lot. I don't know. I get recognized. I don't know. I've always been a pretty recognizable person for some reason, even within the ranks of in Hollywood was a lot of actors. So it's become. I don't even think about it because it's been most of my life that I've been somewhat recognizable, but I don't realize it until I'm hanging out with new friends or new people, and they're oh my god, everywhere you're going. But it's usually super cool. People just recognizing this cool thing. Yeah, I always get tripped out when I get recognized because of my voice, because it's your voice. You don't think anything about your voice. It's your voice. But as you're walking around and people, you'll be talking to someone and they kind of you can see it on their face when you're at Best Buy or you're at Coffee Bean or something, and they're talking to you, and then all of a sudden it hits them oh my god, you're Prince Zuko. And that's always funny. It's never, I do the voice of Prince Zuko, but no one's ever you're the voice of Prince Zuko. Everyone, they look at me you're Prince Zuko. and I'm yes, I am. I don't know. It's strange to be associated with an animated character in a way that I don't know. It's even weird for me because Rufio, I get I played Rufio, I walk in, oh, you're Rufio. I'm yeah, what's up? But then it's Prince Zuko's it's an animated character, but I get it for some reason. I don't know. But Yeah, there's like girls always say like, I'm in love with your voice, and I'm like, that's cool and weird at the same time. Last question is going to right here, the blue hair. What? No, watch. What?
It's an anime.
Oh, awesome. And it's called, again, one time? I can't even understand your English right now. Definitely, I'll check that out. Planet? Planet. I'm confused. I'm super confused, like, what are we talking about? Alright, I'll check that out. I'll definitely check that out. Someone will give me the spelling. But this is the last question right here with the glove.
Would you ever consider dressing up as one of your characters at a con?
Yeah, I would. I threw a cosplay birthday party for myself. Here's what happened. Well, I'm on Tumblr in the middle of the night like a month ago, and I'm like, I'd like to throw a party and invite everybody on Tumblr. And then my birthday came around, and my friends of mine gave me a club. So I threw a cosplay birthday party, and mad people showed up. And it was so successful that the club promoters in LA want to do another one. So we're going to do another one in February. But I got to dress up as the Blue Spirit, which is awesome.
Oh my God!
And that's all the time we have.